We introduced Psalm 42 yesterday. Psalm 42 is the first psalm of the second book of the Psalms, 5 books in Psalms. It's written to the chief musician for the sons of Korah. So this was for the instrumentalists and the singers at the temple or at the tabernacle who led the worship for the children of Israel. Okay? This is apparently written by a man who is away from home. He's discouraged. It's been a while since he's been able to go worship, kind of like us. And so he's down. He's sad. He misses his people. He misses his, in the worship sense, in the locational sense, he misses his God. He knows that God is with him. That's why he's praying. But he misses that community and that location. So he's anticipating being back, just like we are. And I think that's coming very soon. He's anticipating all these good things. So let's read the whole psalm again, and then we'll look at the first couple of verses, okay? As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. My soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? My tears have been my meat day and night, while they continually say unto me, Where is thy God? When I remember these things, I pour out my soul in me. For I had gone with the multitude. I went with them to the house of God, with the voice of joy and praise, with a multitude that kept holy day. Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted in me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him for the help of his countenance. O my God, my soul is cast down within me. Therefore will I remember thee from the land of Jordan, and of the Hermonites from the hill of Mizar. Deep calleth unto deep at the noise of thy waterspouts. All thy waves and thy billows are gone over me. Yet the Lord will command his loving kindness in the daytime, and in the night his song shall be with me, and my prayer unto the God of my life. I will say unto God my rock, Why hast thou forgotten me? Why go I mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? As with a sword in my bones, mine enemies reproach me, while they say daily unto me, Where is thy God? Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him, who is the health of my countenance and my God. To be honest with you, I wonder if this was written by David, but that's just my own curiosity. So, a lot to say as we study this whole psalm. We're going to be brief today, but let's look at the first 2 verses and let's just dial in focus. As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee. So a hart is a stag or a male deer or even a ram, okay? And the wilderness area of Jordan, when you go east from Jerusalem, the land gets really barren really quickly. I mean, frankly, I've seen the Mojave Desert. I lived in the Mojave Desert for a lot of years. The land east of Jerusalem is the most barren I've ever seen. It is absolutely dry, absolutely crusty, rocky, sandy, and it's mountains for a long time coming out of Jerusalem, and then you descend down into the plain towards Jericho and towards the River Jordan, and it is equally barren. It's just dusty, filthy, dry. It's desolate. And yet there are deer, especially in the mountains. There are deer. So where David ran and hid from Saul at En-Gedi, you can go there today. When you can travel, you can go there. We're taking a group there, hopefully in November, and you can see these deer, these stags, and these rams, like mountain goats, up in the crags of the cliffs. And you can imagine the psalmist away from home, and he's seen this. He's seen these deer climbing. He's seen them panting with thirst. And he's thinking, that's how I feel for God. Okay? So there's a lot about this metaphor that's, I think, important. First of all, strenuous. He's describing a strenuous place in life. And there are seasons that come and go in life, and a lot of seasons in our lives are strenuous. They're heavy, breathing, we're exerting, we're working, we're climbing, we're tired. And maybe that's you now, okay? And we thirst for something in those moments. We thirst for rest. We thirst for refreshment. We thirst for a place for our soul to find quiet, to find calm, to find protection and peace. And this psalmist is saying there's, just like I'm climbing through life like that deer, just like I'm thirsty for something and I need something, I need God. And thirst is something different than hunger. Excuse me. It's different than hunger in the sense that you can go a long time without food. You can't go a very long time without water, okay? I mean, that's almost a daily thing. You go a day without water, you're going to be in bad shape. And you're not going to live long without water. And that's the picture here, is that I need God. I need him every day. He is what my soul most thirsts for. His presence. And I experience his presence personally, like every day. But we also need to experience his presence in worship and in community with friends, with church family. We need to experience his presence with other believers. And it's a part of what fuels, what salves, what comforts our soul, that community of believers. And this man is missing that. He's away from Jerusalem. He can't go to the temple. He can't worship God on a regular basis. He can't go to the feasts. He can't offer sacrifices. And that's absent from his life. And he's longing for that. He's thirsting for that. And he was wise to recognize that his emotions, okay, were in a dark place because he wasn't able to fuel his soul the way he normally would. Another big takeaway from this is, just like that deer, that heart has to eventually find running water, okay? He has to eventually find a source. And it's interesting that the springs that are at En-Gedi, they still flow through those mountains. It's amazing. So God promises us to be our provision, okay? So when we can't be at a place where the waves are washing over us constantly, God gives us the drinks we need when we need them, okay? He gives us the water that we need from the springs, from the rains. He sustains us, okay? So the psalmist wants to be in Jerusalem, which is like living by the shoreline of a huge supply of wave after wave of fresh water rolling over his soul. Living in God's presence is just like being immersed in water, okay, a supply. So he says, God, this deer is panting after water brooks, and I'm panting, I'm longing, I'm thirsting, I'm craving you. And more than relief from his enemies, more than any other thing in his life, he's saying, God, you're the one I most want and most long for. What a wise posture. What a wise declaration. Verse 2, my soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. He gets it. He understands what he's made out of. He understands what his soul is made out of. And he understands, just like in the morning I long for coffee, he knows every day his soul longs for God. And there's nothing that can put that in him except for the presence of God, and having a fellowship and a relationship with God, and then walking with him through life. Well, friends, realize today that what your soul most thirsts for is God, okay? And then meditate on these things that we've talked about and give yourself to them. Quiet your life and follow him and listen to him, and let his Spirit restore you. Let his word restore you. And be thankful that you know him. And one day, you'll be in his presence, and you'll never be able to be removed from it. And that's the best news of all.